Hello learners, welcome to Unacademy, India's largest e-learning platform. Let's crack class 12 CBSE Commerce together. My name is Simran Bajaj and I will be taking your business studies for class 12. And about myself, I'm a law student and I have a teaching experience of almost 2 years, having taught students of classes 11 and 12 from the CBSE background. And I hold certifications in advanced contract drafting as well as one in cyber laws. And you can use my promo code that is given at the bottom of the slide, Simran10, to purchase your Unacademy subscription and you can avail a 10% discount. So, talking of the subscriptions that we offer on Unacademy, we offer 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, and 12-month subscription. So, a 1 month subscription starts from rupees 2,500, and after a discount, it costs you rupees 2,250. That makes it 2,250 for a month. The next kind of plan we have is a 3 month plan. A 3 month plan costs you rupees 6,250 rupees, and after a discount, it costs you rupees 5,625. That makes it 1,875 a month. Then talking of the 6 month subscription, a 6 month subscription costs you 10,000 rupees. That comes out to be rupees 9,000 after a 10% discount. That is 1,500 a month for a 6 months plan. Lastly, talking about the 12-month subscription, it is the most economical plan we offer. Because the MRP is rupees 12,500 and after a discount it costs you rupees 11,250 rupees, that is 938 rupees a month for all your subjects. So use my promo code Simran10 to purchase your Unacademy subscription. So, talking of what an Unacademy subscription holds for you, a subscription on Unacademy gives you an access to all our daily live content and recorded courses which are delivered by India's best educators. And another good thing about us is the concept of free live classes. I will tell you, we offer free live classes. Now, what are these free live classes? For example, you happen to purchase a subscription for business studies, right? So what you get along the price of a business studies subscription is classes for other commerce subjects like English, maths, economics, as well as your accountancy. So one subscription gets you a subscription for your entire commerce subjects. So everything is available at one place and you do not have to run from here to there to get your to keep up with your other subjects. So what you will get in an Unacademy subscription is and access to our daily life classes. In these daily life classes, you can chat with your educator, you can engage in discussions, you can ask your doubts, you can answer polls, all this while the class is going on. So it makes the entire process of e-learning very interactive. You also get live tests and quizzes which help you evaluate your preparation by way of these mock tests and quizzes, and you get a detailed analysis of your performance. Another thing you get is structured courses. Now, the courses that are offered on Unacademy, they are structured in line with your NCERT syllabus to help you prepare for them in the best manner. Lastly, you get an unlimited access to all recorded courses which you can watch from the comfort of any of your devices. In case you happen to miss a live class, you can watch the recorded classes, right? So, starting off with today's lecture, today in this part, we will be discussing part 5 of directing. We will be talking about communication, as you have seen the title of today's discussion. So, we have already discussed what directing is, and quickly going over the topics that we have done in the previous modules. So we have discussed already the concept of directing. Then we happened to discuss the characteristics. Then we discussed the importance. Followed by the principles of directing. Then we discussed the elements. There are four elements of your directing. The first one we discussed was supervision. Then the next one we discussed was motivation. And then we discussed leadership. I will be taking a quick review at the end of today's session, but still let me know if you have any doubts. These are the topics covered so far. And today we will be discussing communication. So this topic will be discussed in two different modules because it's a very important topic and you do get questions. And at the end of this class, I will be holding a little quiz for you guys. So I will want you guys to be very interactive and stay tuned till the end. Right? I'm giving you a little time to analyze if you have any topic में इनमें से किसी topic में doubt. Please let me know. Please tell me if you have any doubt, else I will start with today's topic. Please tell me if you have any doubts. So let's start with today's topic. Okay, so this is a very interesting topic, and I will be covering it in two different um, modules. So, I will start with communication today. So, when you understand this word communication, can anybody tell me what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word communication? Can anybody tell me what is the first word that comes to their minds when you hear the word communication? Okay, no response. So I'll tell you what is communication. Communication, in very simple terms, means the transfer of information, right? You're giving information and you are receiving information, right? Giving out and receiving information. Okay? So, when we talk about communication in the sense of management, communication is seen to play a very crucial role in the success of an organization and the success of a management. Now, when we talk about how much professional knowledge and how much intelligence a manager has becomes immaterial if he is not able to communicate effectively with his subordinates. No matter what amount of knowledge you have, no matter what degrees you hold, no matter how intelligent you are, all that becomes immaterial if you are not able to communicate effectively with your subordinates, and you are unable to create an understanding with them. So, when we talk about directing, we had highlighted a few words, we have taken note of a few keywords, and communication was one of them. And communication is also a part of directing. Directing abilities of a manager, the way you give instruction. इंस्ट्रक्शन कैसे दोगे? जब तक कम्युनिकेट नहीं करोगे इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं दे पाओगे. जब तक कम्युनिकेट नहीं करोगे तब तक मोटिवेट नहीं कर पाओगे. जब तक कम्युनिकेट नहीं करोगे तब तक लीड नहीं कर पाओगे. So directing abilities of a manager are dependent upon his communication skills. So communication forms the very basis of your directing, right? So the this is why the organization always emphasizes on improving the communication skills of managers as well as employees, so that there is a better understanding. Communication is associated with understanding, right? So the word communication is derived from the word Latin word which is communis, 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 which means common. In English, it means common, right? So it implies a common understanding. You could write it as a common understanding. Common understanding. of what somebody is trying to say to you. Okay, so communication is defined in a lot of ways, but in very simple terms, if I was to explain it to you, it is an exchange of ideas, it is an exchange of views, it is an exchange of um, feelings, right? Facts, feelings. So exchange of all these things in very simple terms, if I was to tell you, communication is the exchange of ideas, facts, feelings, etc. Right? So, in very simple terms, if I was to give you a definition, it is the exchange of ideas, of fact, feelings, etc. So, communication is the very basis of your directing. I hope I am clear. So far, everything is clear. Okay, so I will be giving you a certain definitions for communication and you can note them down. So the first definition is communication is the sum total of all the things one person does when he wants to create an understanding. So the key word here is understanding. So communication is the sum total of things one person does when he wants to create an understanding in the mind of another, and it involves a systematic and continuous process of telling, listening, and understanding. So, understanding is the key word when we talk about communication, transfer of information, and it involves an exchange of information. So, communication is the transfer of information from the sender to the receiver, with the information being understood by the receiver. So, you can use these definitions, and in case you have a doubt here in the meaning, just the meaning, I have not gone to the elements, just discussing the meaning of communication. Please tell me if you have a doubt in the meaning of communication. Please tell me if you have a doubt in the meaning of the communication. We have not started elements, so I have written down a certain keywords for you. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the live chat box. Students, if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, तो डेफिनेशन आई गेस क्लियर है. जब हम कम्युनिकेशन की बात करते हैं, वी हैव सीन communication as an exchange of information. In very simple terms, exchange of information, right? So, giving you examples of exchange of information, when you write the definition, you can cite these examples. For example, when you go to a restaurant and you tell the waiter that you want a particular dish prepared in a particular manner, you instruct him that It should not be highly spiced, it rather should be mildly spiced. So when you are communicating, when you go to a restaurant, going to a restaurant and ordering, going to a restaurant and ordering involves communication. Then when we talk about in sense of business, in terms of business studies, when we talk about the middle management, when we talk about the middle management, it communicates, it communicates the plans and policies that are framed by the top management to the lower management, right? I hope you agree. This also involves a certain communication, right? It involves certain communication. Then when we talk about a supervisor, we had seen in supervision, supervisor is a link between the workers and the management, right? So I've given you some examples. Please let me know if any of these is not understood. The first one is a general example. This first one is a general example, mind you. And these two are specific to your business. Okay? Please tell me if you have any doubt. Okay, so I will move on to the next topic, that is the elements of communication. Elements of communication. Now, communication is a process. We have seen in the definition that communication is a process. So, this process involves a number of elements like encoding, your media, the channel, the receiver, decoding. So we will see the elements and then we'll move on to the process. So once we are through with the elements, we will discuss the process also. So the first element is the sender. The first element is the sender. Now, sender is a person who conveys his thoughts or ideas to the receiver, and the sender represents a source of communication. So, sender is the source of communication who represents, who conveys his ideas or thoughts or instructions to the receiver. So when we talk about management, the manager is a sender and the employees generally are the receiver. When we talk about an instruction being given to the people, to the employees in an organization, who will be the sender and who will be the receiver? The manager or the management as a whole will be the sender, and your people will be the employees will be your receivers, right. Then the second one is a message. Now, when you are conveying the idea, the conveyance of idea, the content of ideas, the suggestions, the order, the instruction, what the message is trying to say, what the order instruction is trying to say, what is intended to be communicated, something that is intended to be communicated is a message, right? Then the third one is encoding. Encoding is the process of converting a message into communication symbols such as words, pictures, or gestures. So, encoding is the process of converting the message into communication symbols which are understandable by the receivers. It could be words, it could be pictures, it could be gestures, right? Then the fourth one is media. Media is a path through which encoded message is transmitted to the receiver, right? It could be a face-to-face communication, it could be in the form of a written letter, it could be in the form of your phone call, it could be by way of the internet. So media simply means the medium, right? Medium. So it could be a face-to-face communication, it could be a phone call, it could be a written letter, it could be by way of the internet. So the way you deliver the message, the way in which you want to deliver the message is what we call the medium of delivering the message. Then there is decoding. Decoding is the process of converted the encoded symbols to this of the sender to something that you want to understand. Decoding is the process of converting the encoded symbols to the sender and understanding the message, right? Then the sixth one is receiver. Receiver is the person who is at the other end of the communication process, receiving the information, getting the information that the sender is trying to convey. ठीक है. Then there is a feedback. Feedback includes all those actions the receiver indicating that if he has or he has not received or understood a particular message that has been sent by the sender. And the last one is noise. Noise means some obstruction or hindrance in the process of communication, and this hindrance can be caused by to the sender, message, or receiver. Some examples of noises could be your ambiguous symbols, your poor telephone connection, and it could be the surrounding noises, poor understanding of the messages, and faculty decoding is also an example, right? So I hope the elements are clear. Elements are very, very clear to you people. ठीक है. So communication process I have covered. We have talked about the elements. I'll show you the process as a diagram because it's a very easy topic. So first go through this and then I will tell you. I will cater to the doubts and then we'll move to the process. Please tell me if you guys have any doubts. Okay, so we'll move on to the next topic, that is the process. So, putting the elements in the process. So, there is a sender who sends the message by way of a particular medium. It could be face to face, it could be face to face, it could be a phone call, it could be written communication, etc. Right? Then it is received. This also we call encoding. This is received by the receiver and decoded. That means it is understood. And there are certain noises that can disrupt communication. We have discussed these in detail. Please go over the process. When you are asked a question about the process, draw this diagram and explain it, right? Okay. So next we'll move on to the importance of communication. So when we talk about communication, communication is one of the most important aspects of management and directing, and it has been seen that a manager spends around 90% of his time communicating, reading, writing, listening, guiding, instructing, approving, reprimanding, etc. So all this is a part of communication. When we talk about communication, communication is just not a one-sided exchange of information. It is a two-way exchange of information, right? So effectiveness of a management will depend on how well he is able to communicate with his superiors and subordinates and external agencies. So uh, one of the thinkers has said that the number of management problems today is communication, right? The first top communication problem is draft directing is communication. It is the foundation of all group activities, communication. When you work in a group, even when you as students work in a group, it is seen that communication is required with respect to deciding who is going to do what in the group project, with respect to how things will be done, with respect to how you are going to go about things. So, communication serves as the lubricant for fostering a smooth operation of the management process. And talking of the importance, the first point of importance is that it is the basis of communication. Then we talk about uh, communication, it is the basis of coordination. Communication acts as a basis of coordination because it provides coordination among the departments, amongst the various activities, amongst the employees in an organization. And such coordination is provided by explaining about the organizational goals, right? This coordination comes in an organization when people are aware about the goals, right? So such coordination is provided by explaining about the organizational goals, the mode of their achievement, and the interrelationship between uh, different individuals. So it is a basis of coordination. I've written communication, it is coordination. It is the basis of coordination. Then the second point of importance is that smooth working of the organization. It helps in the smooth working of the organization. Now, communication, when we talk about it, makes it possible for the smooth functioning and unrestricted working of an organization, and all organizational interactions depend upon a common interaction, right? The job of a manager is to coordinate the various human and organizational efforts into achieving common objectives. And it is only communication which makes a smooth working of an enterprise possible. So, communication is the very basic to an organization's existence, right from its birth, continues to the life of an organization. And when the communication stops, the organization ceases to exist. Please excuse me. I hope the first 2 points are clear. So we have discussed that it is the basis of communication, and we've discussed the second point, that it ensures a smooth working of the organization. Then the third one is that it is the basis of decision making. Now, communication provides a needed information for decision making. Decision making is done when there is a certain information available, and in the absence of it, it is not possible for the managers to take a meaningful decisions, and only on the basis of communication relevant decisions can be made, right? Then the fourth one is increases managerial efficiency. Now, communication is essential for a quick and effective performance of the management functions, and the management conveys the goals and the targets, issues the instructions, and allocates jobs and responsibilities. And all this involves communication. So, communication is involved in these aspects, and communication is a very important factor in an organization and is a very important part of management, and effective communication increases managerial efficiency. Then the fifth one is it promotes cooperation. Now we have seen it is the basis of coordination, and we are seeing that it promotes cooperation, right? So it promotes cooperation and industrial peace, right? So, the efficient operation is the aim of all prudent management, and it may be possible only when there is an industrial peace in the factory and a mutual cooperation between the management and the workers. So, when there is communication, there is cooperation and an industrial peace between the management and the workers, and a two-way communication promotes cooperation and a mutual understanding between the managers and the workers. So I hope the first 5 points are clear. I'm giving you time to quickly analyze these. Hello, Vaishnavi. Do you have any doubt in the importance of um, communication? You can tell me if you have any doubts, else I will proceed further. Okay, so we've discussed the first 5 points. The first one was basis of coordination. The second one was smooth working of an organization. Then the third one was basis of decision making, and the fourth one was increases managerial efficiency. Fifth one was promoting cooperation and industrial peace. Then the sixth one is and it offers effective leadership. Now, communication is the basis of all other elements of directing, and you can see here that communication is the basis of leadership, and effective communication helps to have a better influence on subordinates. So when you communicate better, there is a better influence, right? I hope you all will agree, when you have better communication skills, you can lead better. So, influencing people, at the time of influencing people, a leader should possess good communication skills. We also saw this as a part of your leadership qualities. Then the seventh one was boosts morale and provides motivation. So, if you see closely, we have discussed leadership and motivation also. सो मोटिवेशन से एसोसिएटेड है आपका 7th पॉइंट, right? So an efficient system of communication enables the management to motivate, to influence, and satisfy the subordinates, and good communication assists the workers in their adjustment with the physical and social aspect of work, and it improves good human relations in the industry. So communication is the basis of the participative and democratic pattern of management, right? I hope these points are clear to all you people who are in the live session. Please tell me कोई doubt है importance में या meaning में, तो I will discuss that topic again. Okay, since you guys do not have any doubt in importance of communication, I will move on to the next topic that talks about the types of communication. And when we talk about the types of communication, there are two types of communications. The first one is formal communication and the other one is informal communication. So when we were discussing organizing, we saw that there are two types of structures as well. Two types of structures as well, right? We saw two types of structures, that was a formal structure and an informal structure of organizing. Likewise, when we talk about communication, there are two types of communication. The first one is formal communication and the other one is your informal communication. So when we talk about communication taking place within an organization, it can either take place through formal channels or through informal channels. So first we'll take up your formal communication. When we talk about your formal form of communication, it flows through an official channel, right? It involves your concept of scalar chain that we had studied. It involves the concept of your scalar chain that we studied in the second chapter, that was Principles of Management. So, a formal communication flows through official channels, channels that have been pre decided, channels that one cannot escape in an organization. For example, if an employee has a certain grievance that he wants to convey to the top management, so he cannot directly, talk with the CEO or with any top management executive. He will have to first talk to the department head, then there will be a particular channel, and then through that particular channel, you will reach the complaint or the grievance will reach the top level management, and then it will be solved. So it will depend whether if that problem can be solved at the lower levels or it needs to be taken to the higher levels to be resolved. So, formal communication uses official channels. It includes the concept of scalar chain. Please make sure that you mention it while writing your answers, right? Please make sure that you use the concept of scalar chain while you write your answers in your board exam, right? So, I hope, yes, what doubt do you have, Amisha? Can you please elaborate on the doubt? Please tell me the doubt you have. Okay. So moving on, formal communication, that is exactly what I'm discussing, formal communication. So please sit back, relax, and listen. That helps. And talking of formal communication, formal communication is it involves your official channels as we discussed, and this form of communication takes place between a superior and a subordinate, where a subordinate and a superior, it could be either ways. It could be between a superior and subordinate this way, or it could be either way, where the subordinate is conveying something to the superior, like I gave you the example of grievances. So this communication system may be oral, may be written, but generally it is recorded and filed in the office. So it is a more accountable form because it is written and recorded, generally written and recorded, right? It is written and recorded, so it is a more stable, a more formal form of communication, right? So formal communication can be of two types. It can be vertical communication, it can be horizontal communication, right? So when we talk about your vertical communication, just give me a second. When we talk about your Vertical communication flows vertically, means it is upwards or downwards. So vertical communication is either upwards or downwards in this formal channels that are created in the organization. So upward communication refers to the flow of communication from a subordinate to a superior, whereas downward communication indicates the communication from a superior to a subordinate. For example, when passing orders, a superior gives certain instructions to his subordinate, that is vertical communication, but it is a downward form of communication, whereas communication from a superior to a subordinate is an upward. So these examples of upward communication could be an application for grant of leave. Another one could be a submission of a report, request for grants. Similarly, the examples of downward communication would include sending a notice to the employees to attend a meeting, ordering the subordinates to complete a particular task, passing on guidelines that are framed by the top management. So, vertical communication is either upward or it is downward, right? So, I hope I'm clear with vertical communication. I will revise directing at the end of today's session, Amisha. Don't worry. Um, First, listen what is being taught because I have to cater to other students who had joined previously. So, I hope vertical communication is clear. I hope vertical communication is very, very clear. Then, moving on to the horizontal communication. Horizontal communication is also known as lateral communication. Lateral communication. It takes place between a division or a department. So, vertical is this, and horizontal is this. It could be either ways. For example, the production manager may contact the marketing manager to discuss the schedule of the product delivery or a product design or any other issue. So it is a communication between the departments. So this pattern through which communication flows within an organization is indicated through networks, which is the next topic I will be covering. So please tell me if you have any doubts in formal communication. If you guys have any doubts in formal communication, please do let me know. I'm giving you a 2-3 minute time. You can quickly analyze formal, informal, vertical, horizontal, and then let me know. Please ask if you guys have any doubts. Okay, So I hope formal communication is clear. I will be discussing networks in the next session at 4 p.m. So I will be revising directing from the beginning as one of the students has made a request. So um, I will be discussing the remaining portion of communication starting from networks to the end of improving communication. So I will start with the concept of directing. So, as you know, how I teach, I pen down keywords. Keywords are very important in business studies, so make sure you make a note of these words, and make sure that you people make a note of these important words that I keep telling you, that I keep writing on the board, so that it becomes easy for you to answer questions in your board exams, right? Okay, so talking of the meaning of directing, directing is associated with the process of giving. What doubt do you have, Amisha? I haven't even started. Please tell me what is your doubt. Yes, I'm listening. I'm constantly reviewing your messages. There is a 10 to 15-second lag in the live classes, so please deal with it as I do. What is your doubt, Amisha? What is formal communication? I just discussed what is formal communication. Formal communication makes use of formal channels to convey certain information. It is of two types. It has vertical communication, it has your horizontal communication. Vertical communication involves an upward and a downward communication, whereas horizontal communication is between two departments. This is what I just discussed. Okay, I hope your doubt is clarified. Hamisha, beta, I hope your doubt is clarified. Okay, so starting from the scratch, as Amisha said, beginning से शुरू करते हैं. Directing is associated with giving instructions with respect to how the objectives of an organization are to be achieved. It involves guiding the employees with respect to the way they are to achieve the goals of an organization, and it also includes counseling and leading. So these are a few keywords that are associated with directing. A general example of directing, if I was to give you, for example, a teacher gives directions to her students for describing the way in which a assignment is to be submitted to her. Then another example could be the manager giving instructions to the employees with respect to how the work is to be done in an organization, right? आई होप डायरेक्टिंग का मीनिंग कीवर्ड्स क्लियर है. Okay, so before I revise, I think I will do a little quiz with you guys, and at the end, I can revise a small topic. So please be responsive to the questions that I ask. So the questions are visible on your screen. The first one is just So there are some questions that are visible on your screen, guys. Please answer. If you don't know the answer, then I will answer for you. But please be responsive. It is very difficult to detect the source of such a communication. Please tell me the answer, guys. What is the answer? Okay, so it is very difficult to detect the source of informal communication. It is very difficult to detect the sources of your informal communication because there is no accountability of such communication. Moving on to the second question, which of the following is not a type of semantic barriers? Okay, we haven't covered this. Answer the fifth question, guys. This is the topic we have done. answer here is it refers to the process, dash refers to the process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating, and leading people in the organization to achieve their objectives. The answer here is directing. Obviously, this is a topic we are discussing, so the answer is directing. Then it's a case study based question, question number 6. I would want a response from the class. The question says, on joining Foster Public School as a physical education teacher, Vikram realized that he did not have any freedom to introduce any changes in sports activities being carried out in the school. Identify the incentive which was being ignored in the school. Please answer. Okay. The answer here is employee recognition, giving recognition to the suggestions of employees. The seventh question is on your screen. Please answer. Okay, so the answer here is, the question says, on the occasion of Founders Day of the firm, Veena was facilitated with a certificate of best performance as a business development manager. Identify the type of incentive that is described in the above lines. The answer here is employee recognition again, because you are recognizing the employee by giving her a certificate. Then the next one is, Ishan works as an accounts officer in Fabrications Limited. He also feels very proud of the fact that he is in charge of the recreation committee of his office. Identify the type of incentive that is being given. So the answer here is employee participation. This brings us to the end of the quiz, the short quiz that was conducted. Please tell me if you people have any doubts. Please tell me if you guys have any doubts. Okay, guys, so this was about today's session. Thank you so much for joining in. You can ask me any doubts if you have. You can ask me if you have any doubts. I will be completing today at 4 p.m. 17th September 2020. I will be completing communication today in the evening. Please join that session. Right, so you have any doubts, you can post your queries, questions, suggestions in the comment section, and do join the session at 4 p.m. I will be taking your doubts also. And for tomorrow I have scheduled a revision session, a session on revision for directing. So please join in at 1 p.m. on YouTube. The session will be from 1 to 3. You can ask your doubts tomorrow also. So please be prepared. Today 4 p.m. Tomorrow 1 p.m. I will be taking your revision and doubt class. So do not forget to tune in. Thank you so much.